Alright, now what we're going to be doing is doing the customizing an email campaign. So one of the 8x8s, one of the 33 touches, we're going to go in there and actually customize it to our own personal campaign instead of using the generic information that they have on that. So what we're going to do is go into my KW. The first thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a custom 8x8 campaign for sellers that I meet. So I'm going to change, actually I'll do the buyers. I want to do an open house 8x8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a group called Open House 8x8 because that's what I'm going to attach this new campaign to. So I'll just go into View Contacts. So I want to create the group so then I can, once I create this campaign, I can just attach it to that group and then I'm set. And then I'm going to go to Manage Groups, and I'm going to call this 8x8 Open House Buyers. So I'm going to give my people that I meet at an open house a different 8x8 than the standard 8x8. So I'm going to hit Save. Now I can click on Create Marketing to go to the marketing section. I have my group created, so now I simply click Create Marketing. Again, it's probably on top when you're viewing this. They did change this before I did these videos, or after I did the video, sorry. So click on Create Marketing. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 8x8 for buyers. So we have to take that campaign, and it doesn't bring you directly to, actually this one does, the seller does not. So it brings you right to the 8x8 for buyers. So here's the campaign, the one that they have in there, but we're going to go in and actually change it. So then we're going to hit select that campaign. I'm going to call it My Open House 8x8 for Buyers because it's going to save this campaign under my portfolio. So I hit save, and then I go to my groups right up top, and I'm going to attach this one to anybody that I label an 8x8 open house for buyer. So I'll just add that group over here and hit save. And then it's going to load this, and before I can actually go in and change any of the material, I have to activate the campaign. So all you do is you click on Start. Once I hit Start, now we go down and we look at the first thing. So the first one is, now is the time to buy. So this is a newsletter that goes out. I can preview it, or I can just go in and edit the project. So I click on Edit Project, and first thing it's going to do is do my contact information. I want to make sure that that's all right, and it should, as long as I've done everything prior to this step within this program. I should have it all updated automatically. So there's 10 things that I'm updating here. Photos good. Now I'm on page 2 of 10. So I hit Next, and then what I'm going to do, my headline. So I'm going to change this to whatever I want to have here. So the headline, so I can preview this and see where the headline is going. And right here is where that headline is going. So I'm going to change that to "Thank you for stopping at my open house." And next one is going to be headline number 2. And I can see that's what's next here, and I'm going to change that as well. And I can put any sort of information that I want to put in here as my headline. So I'm just going to put in some information. I'm not going to put in all the stuff here. Let's begin, and I may leave some of this other stuff. So headline number 3, I may just leave that alone. I like what they have in there. So I'll leave that, and then I'll go to Next. Now this is the nice thing about this is a one-time setup. I set this open house 8x8 for buyers. I never have to come back in here and do it again. Headline number 2, or headline number 1 here. So I can actually see, I kind of like what they've got going on here. It's trying to get these people enticed, but I did want it to start off with talking about that open house because that's where I met them. So then I'll hit Next on that. And mortgage rates, everything looks good there. I could be customizing this, and just for time's sake, I'm not going to, but this is where you would do all that information. And I'll go Next. I'm going to leave that one as well. And this one looks good as well. I like the information. Hit Next. And now I'm on page 9. I'll hit Next. That all looks good. Again, I could be customizing any bit of this. Let me just throw this thing out here again. I want you guys to see what I'm customizing. So this is what's going here. Headline 1, 2, 3, and then this information here as well. So that's exactly what I'm customizing on this letter. And I'm choosing to leave some of the stuff in here because I like what they have. But I did want it to make it an open Okay, that was the end of that video. I had to recoup here. So now we've changed this first step here. There's a couple other things you can do with this. Edit the event. You can change the event name, and this is going to, I'm just going to call this open house email. And then I can actually put how many days until that event fires. I'm going to leave that at day 1. You do have to have it larger than 0. You can't put 0. And then I'm going down to the next event, and I can actually turn events off. Right now this one goes out 8 days after. I can actually go in there and edit the event, and I can change this and have it maybe fire 5 days from it, and I can change the event on this and change it to fire 5 days. And then one other thing I forgot to do is edit the email options. This is where you change the subject of your email. So the subject that's going to go out to them is, I'm going to go thank you. Okay, I already had changed that. Thank you for stopping at my open. So that's the subject of that email that goes out, that first one. Now I can go into this project and edit it. And first, so there's 4 pages on this one, all the information there. Go to the next, photos there, that's all good. And now I can actually change the photos that go in here. So if I wanted to put something different in here, I could actually upload a new image for that email. I'm just going to leave that alone for now. And same here for the information that goes out in this. So I can preview it and see what it is. So there it is. I can see all this information, and I can say yay or nay if I like this for my open house clients. If I do, perfect. I really don't have to do much. But if I do want to change what goes out, all I do is I come in here and add my new verbiage and change the verbiage of each of these headlines, and then I hit done, and I'm set. So now step 2 has been changed, and let that load. And all I would do is I would come here and I could edit the email option. So if I did want to change the subject, I could do that, and I could change anything else. But really not going to go into changing every one of these steps, because all you really need to do is know how to change one, then you can do the rest if you want to. But something very simple is, if this is an open house client, change that first email so then they know that it's more of a really personal touch. So change that, and then a lot of the other stuff is really good stuff anyways. You really don't need to change that. But they do have the phone calls and everything in here with the scripts included, and you can turn any events off that you want to. But that is very simple how you would do that. So now I would go down, I'm good to go here, and click on that. I could pause this, and right now I have 0 contacts on this campaign, and I want to show you something real quick. I'm going to open up a new tab. This is how nice it is to have the group attached. Let's say I add a new contact. So this is where I met my client this weekend, John, open house. I met him, buyer, johnopen@gmail.com. And then I go down and I save his profile, and now I go down to the bottom where I can change what group he's on, and I say this guy is an open house 8x8 for buyer. I hit add. If I jump back here and just refresh this page, and I'll go to my portfolio, I'm going to look at all of my campaigns that I have going on. This is how you can find them. So this is active so my campaigns, there it is. And now I can see I've got 1 contact on there. He automatically goes on to that campaign. So that is as easy as it is. Again, it's key to have your group set up. So if you have not done that step, go back to setting up your groups, because that will creating your groups, and then also setting up your core marketing campaigns for eEdge. You want to make sure that all your groups are attached to a campaign that you want attached to a campaign. So that is that step.